Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff that might happen in the next Gorilla Tag update coming out on April 4th, and some other theories about what's happening behind the scenes. So before we get into this video, please like and subscribe, as that helps me a lot and supports me a lot, and let's get right into the video. So Gorilla Tag is having another live event this Saturday, April 4th at 2 p.m. EST, and as you can see right now, there is a drill right here, and then there is a crane right here. And this drill right here is the same drill that we saw in the second live event. So a recap of the last live event is basically Chloe led us down like these restricted tunnels, and we then went to this like screen area room thing with a giant screen, and then eventually like the screen went up, and then there were all of these like alien eggs. And there were like just a lot of alien eggs, and one of them was actually hatched. So the first thing I want to talk about is, why was Gorilla Corp hiding all of those eggs? So Gorilla Corp's response to all of those eggs is that they're using the energy to power their drill. Now, why would they use the energy from those eggs to power the drill if they already know what the alien is doing? Now, there are two ways that this theory can go. The first way that this theory can go is that there is another company that is not Gorilla Corp that they are competing with. For example, they might be competing for resources, fame, popularity, or just to like get the most money. Now, chances are this theory probably isn't true, because that other company is probably just like other people who don't like Gorilla Corp. Now, if it is another company, then I get how Gorilla Corp is using the energy from the eggs to power their drill, probably to get new resources and money. Now, what other company would need energy like that is so powerful to make something? What if that company is making the rocket? Because think about it. What if they were on Team Fix the Rocket, but when Dig Deeper won, they decided that they were going to build the rocket by themselves? Now, chances are that theory probably isn't true, but if it is true, that would be amazing. And now for the second theory about Gorilla Corp using the energy from the eggs. What if Gorilla Corp is using that energy to try to find Munkus? Now, if you don't know who Munkus is the creature who left the scratch marks, footprints, and used to be up in that cave right there. So basically, in the latest Gorilla News Network report, they were talking about how Gorilla Corp was like kind of trying to find Munkus, but it wasn't exactly their biggest concern. So that's probably not their biggest concern right now, or maybe they are trying to find Munkus, but it's just that they're covering up by acting like they're not interested in finding Munkus. There are two posters right here, one that says seeking info, and one that says reward, but they've both been scratched, so this probably means that Munkus has been in basement, and Munkus might have caused all of this destruction right here. So them trying to find Munkus is probably the best theory I have right now, other than they actually are trying to figure out what the alien is doing. But now let's talk about the Gorilla News Network. So the Gorilla News Network is a news network, and basically it talks about the stuff that's been going on recently. However, it has seemed like they've been a little bit biased toward Gorilla Corp. For example, they talk about the masked monkey being a bad guy, but if you've seen my latest theories video, or you've seen the live event, like the recent one, then you know that the masked monkey is probably a good guy, because he helped us expose Gorilla Corp. Now, the weird thing is, they showed like all of the alien eggs, that like where we broke in and we saw all of those alien eggs. They showed footage of that on their latest news broadcast, which is kind of weird if they are working with Gorilla Corp. And speaking of making them seem like they're the good guys, if you come over to basement, you can see this poster right here that says, "Have you seen this monkey?" And then right here it's marked out and it says, "Save Chloe." And right here you can see the Gorilla Corp logo. Now, while I was filming this video, I heard something from this Doug the Bug robot thing right here. And it was, "Chloe, but and it was Chloe speaking about, like, I think news or something, or like she'll keep us updated. So she probably has access to these cameras. Now, this last and final theory is who is the monkey that follows Beans in the Frank and Beans shorts. Now, this monkey probably works for Gorilla Corp based on the cosmetics he wears, and probably the only reason why he's hanging out with Beans is to try to get information about what has been happening recently. Now, the masked monkey probably isn't Beans, because Beans doesn't really seem like he could do all the stuff that the masked monkey has done. And also, Beans just doesn't really seem like someone who would do that. However, Bree from the latest Frank and Beans video probably does work for Gorilla Corp because she seems way too like hyper and excited to do a bunch of chores. And in the new future, she's probably going to try to get information from Frank about like the events stuff that's been happening recently. So that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe you could add on to some of these theories as well. And please like and subscribe, as that helps me out so much. And thank you, and bye-bye!